Ready? Play.
We'll probably start at the top of the women's draw with actually the last women's match to finish today, and that was Aryna Sabalenka taking out Amanda Anisimova in the one match that didn't go 3 sets, even though I had that as potential upset alert for Aryna, but given Anisimova's been a problem for her, even in this new and improved post Gavin fixing serve version. I think Anisimova, the first set looked like it was going to potentially be a back and forth, but Sabalenka kind of ran away with the match. I don't know if you've been watching much of Sabalenka's matches, Damien, but thoughts on how she's been looking this tournament so far?
Well, this is the big one, Thus far, I don't think she was really tested, and Anisimova, of course, the head-to-head record, it's a little exaggerated with past results, but that's okay because recently she also beat Aryna. In fact, in their last meeting, and we've been seeing this the entire season that a lot of players like Anisimova are pushing Aryna. There's a lot of matches like against Tauson, against Pavlyuchenkova, Ostapenko, the Stuttgart final. You can see that it's very much a possibility to blast Aryna off the court, and in fact sometimes that's what you have to do. So yeah, it's just an excellent win. I think the entire women's event from here is just so stacked that it's tough to kind of just say that, oh yeah, she is playing very well, she's definitely making the final about anybody there, because simply from here on out, it's just going to be a difficult opponent every single time. I think it's probably the strongest Roland Garros group we've seen in ages. The last 4 IGA titles, they were so dominant for her. You also have to remember the 2019 one, which was a bit of a mess later on. 2018, I guess, maybe would be when you had like a really strong lineup late in the event, because I also wouldn't count 21. With obviously that event also being just completely chaotic by the end of it. So it's really been a while since we had this in Roland Garros. Last year definitely didn't feel like that. I mean, you still had Świątek, okay, battle tested after Osaka, and you, I guess, had Goff, but Sabalenka, Rybakina were in the quarters, but everybody of these players is an even better version of themselves from last year besides Iga. So yeah, I can't really say that the fact that she's pulled through 4 rounds in great style makes her, an overwhelming favorite here or something like that. She's done her job, but every single round from here is going to be just so tough.
And we can say that for, you're right, pretty much every player. I think I was thinking all the form players have kind of made it so far. Obviously, we need to see how tomorrow goes. We could see Mira Andreeva and Coco Gauff lose, but that's sort of for tomorrow to worry about. So Zheng Qinwen has come through again today against Ludmila Samsonova in 3 sets. It was a tough opener. Samsonova then ran away with the second, and then Zheng kind of wrestled the third in her favor. Probably the lesser of the 3-set epics that we had today, but and Zheng celebrating like she won Roland Garros at the end of it, falling kind of arms outstretched on the ground. But yeah, so you are counting her as a potentially tough opponent for Aryna Sabalenka, Damien?
Well, I wouldn't have up until recently, but then the Rome match happened. That's kind of when suddenly Zheng makes Aryna so much more frustrated than any other player recently. Uses that, heavy topspin she plays with on clay, which has been so crucial to her run as well. Against Boko, just completely knocking her off her, usual contact points, how she prefers to strike the ball. Samsonova, as we can see by even the scoreline, it wasn't always easy. But again, that's kind of what wins her the third set in my mind. And it's just going to be fascinating to see her come up against Aryna again, basically probably try the same strategy as in Rome. And we'll have to see if Aryna is more ready this time, if she's not quite as worn out mentally, which I think she was by the Rome quarterfinals, Stuttgart final, Madrid title. I think you kind of, was it quarterfinals or semis, by the way, in Rome?
Quarters,
yeah. So
Zheng Gauff match.
Oh yeah, Zheng, yeah, it wasn't the final, right? Because Paulini won the title, of course. Yeah. Quarterfinal, yeah. So I was right but I started doubting myself. Anyway, just trying to say that basically, I think some part of that performance from Sabalenka was just too much on her plate by that point. So it's going to be fascinating to see her try to come up against Zheng again in this matchup. We've watched them play so many times. It was regarded as a horrible, horrible opponent. Well, Sabalenka was regarded as a horrible opponent for Qinwen. And then on clay, it actually turned out a little. I guess now we will kind of have a bit more sample size on that. And by the way, guys, when I said besides Iga, I don't know if you remember how I started that sentence, but I started by saying they're playing better than last year. So you cannot say that she's playing better than last year. So there was nothing wrong with that.
Very difficult for Iga to play better than last year. Going back to Sabalenka Zheng. I think that's the key thing here is you're right. On clay, things kind of go back into Zheng's favour. I still favour Aryna. I think Zheng's looked a little bit more vulnerable. Really, in her progress through the draw, she's had a few tougher matches, probably needlessly. Don't get me wrong, she's probably played some very different opponents, but also I think Aryna will be fresher than in Rome, and she'll also have an answer to whatever tactics Zheng throws at her. So I am leaning Aryna relatively confidently on this one. I think Zheng takes a set, probably, but it's. I agree with you. It's going to be maybe more of a battle than other matches in their head-to-head, and it's going to make life difficult for Aryna. But yeah, I think that's where I'm kind of leaning on this one.
If you enjoyed this video,
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Summers, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Oh. I wasn't sure who was going to appear before me, but how you doing, Damien?
Great. First quarterfinal, I guess, of the French Open, and here we are. Is there an audio issue, says Terry? I don't think so.
I can hear you fine. I think you sound fine to me.
Yeah, I don't think we have an audio issue, unless you mean like at the from the stream of the match or something. But no, on our part, probably not. But yeah, Sabalenka Zheng, I mean, you basically heard my thoughts already. So I guess now I have to ask you for yours.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because of, we had that recent match in Rome, which Zheng finally came out on top in, which obviously she had those 6 losses in a row. And perhaps if this match was coming on hardcourt again, I'd be firmly favoring Sabalenka, but I think this makes it really interesting. Obviously, Zheng is carrying, those good memories as well from the Olympics on these courts last year, and yeah, I just think it's in all the matches before that one in Rome. I mean, I think with Sabalenka's just her power off the ground makes it very difficult for Zheng because she just gets rushed and she can't have that time to do the damage with the forehand, which is obviously very effective on this surface. So, and of course, we have to consider that Zheng's just going to be quite motivated here, right, to do well first quarterfinal as well. So at Roland Garros. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think Sabalenka is. I mean, I expect that she's going to play well today. So I mean, she's played well in the tournament so far. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I'm still, I guess you have to sort of favor Sabalenka. I still feel like she's the favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 3 sets.
Yeah, it's definitely Aryna's the favorite. I mean, I don't think she will be as riled up as she was in that Rome encounter. I mean, she was just as nervous as I get when I'm playing tennis, more or less. But probably today she's gonna have a clearer head, just more ready for the encounter, not having all of this already, like in recent weeks, like the Madrid title and all the mental, physical fatigue. She should be better. But yeah, indeed, I think Qinwen had a pretty nice warm-up as well for this, playing Boko, Samsonova. That's kind of what you want, I think, ahead of facing Sabalenka. So yeah, should be great.
Yeah, I think as well, obviously, with Zheng, it's always a question if she's going to get her first serve percentage high enough. And I think like in the last match, it didn't start off particularly well, but it got better as the match went on. But she's probably going to want to, she's probably going to need to, keep that reasonably high from the beginning for her to have a chance in this match. But yeah.
Where are you in terms of your stream? Mine is at like 15:30 already.
Yeah, 15:30. Yeah,
okay.
But I've just got Sabalenka serving.
Okay. I mean, I haven't started the point at 15:30 either, so.
Yeah, it seems a little bit windy there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to particularly favor either player. I don't know how much that's going to be disruptive, but it feels a bit weird that it's on this early. It's a fairly big matchup.
Yeah, that's obviously been a point of conversation. I mean, tomorrow it's obvious that the women's matches have to go first because they play on Thursday, but today certainly doesn't need to be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, people are barely getting in the stadium and then or in the grounds even.
Could be at least like one women's, one men's, one women's. It wouldn't make a big difference, but well. And the women's matches are actually much more exciting today. So
yeah, that's what I mean. This is a particularly interesting matchup, and perhaps the most interesting one. But yeah, with that,
I mean,
what just happened there? I just seen the 30-all point, and then it was in, right? I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Okay, our streams seem to be more or less. Yeah, our streams seem to be more or less in sync, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, we just mentioned the wind, but even though Sabalenka had to stop at some point and wait for it to pass, she actually, her serving doesn't seem hampered after back-to-back aces.
Yeah. And yeah, it's interesting because probably just more mentally than anything, I guess that last win for Zheng was came at a good time for her. So pretty, I mean, even if Zheng somehow manages to win this, though, still a tough potential run to go. But
yeah, I think for everybody here in this event right now, especially in the top half, I mean, you just cannot expect an easy match from here on out. So
yeah, there's a lot of tough players at the moment in the top 5, 6. I see some stats there on the screen there of the. Oh, it's the quality. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sabalenka basically leading in all but the serve, and all but the serve. I mean, return, forehand, backhand, and movement. Is any of this particularly weird? Not really, although Qinwen's backhand quality being so high, pretty close to Sabalenka. whereas the forehand is kind of far away. That's maybe a little surprising.
Yeah, the backhand up the line was very effective actually against. Well, she hit a lot of winners on that wing in the last match, but and I guess she's pretty solid cross court. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really see a lot of winners coming that way. But it was a big serve to start off. In terms of who is you've tipped to sort of win this tournament, who did you pick?
Before the tournament, I was basically just going back and forth between Andreeva or Goff beating Świątek in the final, and I think I picked Andreeva in the end. But obviously, there's a big problem there with the Goff matchup and how she basically just feels 18 years old only in that particular rivalry. So. But yeah, I kind of would like the chances, I guess, of either Andreeva or Goff in the final against most of the top half players. But it's gonna be very close either way. Poisson is the standout, of course, in the quarterfinal lineup, as in like somebody unexpected. But the other 7, it's basically 7 of the 8 top contenders before the event. So.
Yeah, looking at the draw, you'd say it's in favor of Goff to get to the final at least anyway. But that was a big win though for Iga against Rybakina. I mean, I didn't see it live because I was watching the other match, but
the
scoreline was exciting enough just watching that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of win that sometimes gives you titles. Like you just fire up from there and keep going. The only reason why I don't really treat it as like the Osaka round 2 last year, where basically after that it was so easy until the rest of the event, until the end of the event, is because the opposition is so much stronger. I mean, literally anyone else in the draw is much better than they were in 2024. Even the same players who are in the semifinals and the quarterfinals, like Goff Andreeva last year, Sabalenka was in the quarters as well. I mean, they're all playing much better than they were last year. So it's not a guarantee of anything, but obviously, it was a real champion moment.
But yeah, I think it's probably just still probably significant for her. Like she would feel good about it afterwards, like mentally, that she was able to come through that. So we'll see anyway when she takes to the court next, but it might have changed something in her. Let's see. We're at 30-40 now, or 40-30, I should say.
Nurlan.
Oh, I forgot what to show the comments.
No, that's just one from Nurlan. I mean, a few, but one that has a question that I don't even know what to do with Nurlan. What to do with it, Nurlan? I don't think the right to vote should be taken away. No.
Ooh. Well, that was a good backhand there from Zheng to get the point done. So
not bad. You could argue that she won that backhand to backhand rally, although Aryna was also very close to winning it when she forced Qinwen to slice. But yeah, good for her to just close out this game. Obviously 40 love, and then if it suddenly got really tricky, good to be on board, and hopefully that also ensures that we will have a competitive match here.
And we've also got after this it's Svitolina and Świątek. Then Musetti, and then Tommy Paul and Alcaraz later. Do you see any possibilities, any upsets in those matches today, or not likely?
Men's probably not. I mean, personally, I don't think I'm gonna watch. Maybe tune in if it gets interesting. Not invested in either matchup. I'll just watch challengers.
Yes. Got the Birmingham on at the moment, and then
Birmingham especially, yeah, for sure. But also Prosteyov, Tyler, and Heilbronn. I think over the men's matches, yeah, that's more exciting to me today. But the women's lineup in general is fire.
Yeah. Again, that's maybe why it's a bit of a shame that it's not on later on, but yeah. But that's been a big talking point.
Well, I guess for you that's cool, right? In terms of your time zone.
Yeah, so I was thinking that as well. I was like, I wonder if maybe because for a Chinese audience they prefer that because
no, that's not the reason.
That's not the reason, but
yeah, I mean, it's better for the Chinese audience, but that's not what Roland Garros is going for. That's what we unfortunately know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like from as well from what Amelie Mauresmo said.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of on fire,
yeah, that was a tremendous forehand, by the way.
But it's again she's just setting this up based on the previous super heavy return. So, exactly what she was doing in Rome. She gets to break points. There was a great volley as well at love 15. And she has her on the stretch now.
And that's it. Yep.
Great start. And so far, Sabalenka doesn't seem to be finding much of an answer to the heaviness that Zheng plays with, but we'll see. Of course, it's still early days, but that was a really, really good game.
Yeah, early days, and of course, Zheng will have to back up her break now. And yes, obviously, we know that her first serve has trouble sometimes getting over 50%, but yeah, and obviously Sabalenka's going to be waiting to pounce if she gets any chances. So we'll see how that goes. But obviously, great start for Zhang. And someone in the comments says, "Don't be afraid of the cries of Saba." I don't know.
Probably maybe the granting. I don't know.
I think that's what she means. Yeah, it might be intimidating for some. I think everyone just expects that though with Sabalenka.
Yeah, I mean, so many players on tour do it that I doubt somebody is just like coming up against Aryna and thinking, "Oh my, this is something I've never seen before." This is so unexpected. But yeah, but she is pretty extreme. But the benefits of watching a match on stream is that I'm watching this on mute, so I don't hear it. But in general, I'm also not bothered by granting at all. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can border on. Well, I think with Sabalenka, it's like she does it pretty much every shot, right?
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you get some players that just have like extended grunts that go into when the other player is about to hit the shot.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes an argument that could be hindering their opponent, but so I think a lot of the time that's just natural. It's not like a deliberate thing. So.
Yeah, it's a very thin line. Definitely, sometimes there's been controversies regarding that. If you do this, well, I guess the consensus is that if you do it after every shot, then it's okay. But, there's still a sense of deliberation, I guess, in it as well. At some point, you had to pick up the habit. Yeah, that was my reaction to Zheng missing that of the Sabalenka drop shot, where basically she just had the free line, but 15-0.
Yeah, and Zheng actually, obviously she lost that point in the end, but I mean, she actually moves. And I mean, I guess she got more time to defend, but like she still moves surprisingly well on clay because I wouldn't necessarily have thought, when I first saw her, that she would be able to do that. But that's an important thing on clay, whether you can adjust to that. And yeah, she's pretty good at that.
Yeah, still waiting for her grass court movement to get better, but clay courts definitely she's among the best.
What about you, Damien? Are you much of a grunter on court?
No, not really. Only when I'm tired.
Yeah. No, me neither. It's kind of weird for me to. It would be quite unnatural.
Obviously, something you like. They actually had to like kind of include in their games, right? It's a habit they picked up. It's not something that was natural. That on every shot you're gonna be releasing, I don't know, energy like this. But yeah. When I'm tired, then sure, yeah. But it has to be like really tired.
Maybe on a big serve, but like generally, I think I'm fairly quiet.
I'm not quiet between the points, but I'm quiet during points. Well, this is a very like, okay, maybe not so much yet, since obviously she has to run around here and hasn't won a point yet. That point yet.
Well, that was a pretty good point in the end.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that like she's playing this match so far with like real authority. I don't think that's something that she did in the Sabalenka matchup necessarily prior to Rome. Most of the time she was just getting dominated. Obviously, the lone Grand Slam final that she played was against Aryna, and that was an example of a match where she's just stuck defending behind the baseline, not much to do there. That heavy power on both shots from Sabalenka is just killing her. And so far today, I mean, Qinwen is the one dictating terms.
Yeah, and something when I'm sort of assessing any like matchups is sort of the motivation of each player. I would just feel like Zheng's going to be really motivated in this particular occasion. I mean, I guess she always is, but I think she realizes as well that with the opponent and at this particular event, she's got a good chance.
Matthew, I pay a little attention to the boys and girls singles, depending on basically how much time I have. But well, girls less so, but boys definitely. Kwame losing yesterday was a big upset. Would love Vasami to pick up the title, maybe. But yeah, it's a stacked draw.
Gilles Simon is your.
I don't know. It's tough to say what I play. Probably not Gilles Simon. Like I try not to be Gilles Simon, but sometimes you have to win in any manner possible. But I definitely try not to be Gilles Simon. Oh, okay. I think I added you.
Yeah, sorry, I seem to have got kicked out on my connection.
Oh, no worries. I didn't realize it disappeared, but then I heard the noise, which is a good addition from StreamYard. Thank you to the bosses of the website. Anyway, yeah, that was a pretty good hold for Aryna. Not much action there. A few missed returns from Qinwen, but mostly caused by the power of the serve. Still a break ahead. Nurlan with the call that Zheng and Goff will be the final. I mean, at this point, you can probably go for about 10 different combinations that are all pretty much the same likelihood. If you say Boison is going to be in the final playing Svitolina, that's when I can tell you, okay, yeah, that's bold. If that works out, kudos.
Is that a serious question there from Mahus? Is Qinwen winning here a bigger upset than Boisson beating Pegula?
Is Qinwen winning here a bigger upset than Boison beating Pegula? That's actually an interesting question because Pegula is pretty weak right now. So probably not still because of Rome. But like, let's imagine that Sabalenka defeated Qinwen 6-4, 6-4 in Rome. And then this would be a bigger upset, I think, yes. But because Rome happened, probably not. Like, if we didn't get the Rome match at all. Like, if all we had in their previous rivalry was all the matches that they played up until Rome, then maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also in this, on clay, you still would have always expected this would be our best chance for Zheng to beat Sabalenka. So
the producer is, keeps saying that theory that she hasn't played well since the US Open. I mean, I don't even necessarily maybe, disagree all that much, but I saw a funny tweet the other day, which was like, the Pegula reversion back to the mean has been fun to witness the last couple of years or something like that. And I'm like, mate, 9 months ago, she made the final of the US Open. She won a WTA 1000 in the lead-up swing. I mean, maybe the last few months haven't been great, but well, here we go for double faults for 1530. Earlier, a backhand unforced error where she was trying to go pretty big on the +1 shot. Let's see how she responds to the first adversity on serve, I guess.
I'm amazed at how well synced our streams are. That never happens. Oh, it follows it up with a good serve.
Yeah, 185 down the tee, perfectly into the corner. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Storm a brewing.
I'll close the balcony door. I was outside like 30 minutes ago, and it was sunny. But well, clearly now it's a thunderstorm.
Do you get many thunderstorms there in summer?
Tough for me to compare. Like I don't know what many would be, but I would say in the summer they're more likely. Yeah, that's probably like true anywhere. That like when it's hot, then there's that sudden crash, I suppose. Yeah, but I'm not really sure like how many is many in terms of thunderstorms. Would have to look at data. But I don't know, maybe like once every 2 weeks. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the backhand down the line, and there's the 4-2. So basically, spectacular serving from 1530. Then also following it up here, and we've got Qinwen still ahead and still playing this like she's like she's bossing it. I'm the one in charge. I'm gonna be the player who decides the outcome today, and so far 23 minutes in.
I mean,
I'll check, Nurlan. What was your question again about Iga? I think I missed it. Do I think she realistically returns better like that? What?
Oh. That was set up perfectly by Sabalenka, and then obviously just a poor finish there. But
I don't know, Nurlan, what your question about Iga was. The only thing I see is that do you realistically think she returns better than that? But I don't know what that was in reference to be honest.
it was a bit heavy, that drop shot. Oh, but Zheng puts the ball long.
Yeah, I think every single drop shot that Sabalenka played so far has been atrocious, and I think she won 2 out of 3 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was another attempt where, yeah, just not feeling.
I wonder if she'd been watching the Samsonova match, because Samsonova was hitting a lot of backhand drop shots and they were working very well. But
I thought you might say, I wonder if she was watching Alexander Bublik with Jack Draper.
Yeah, probably was as well. But
no, of course, it is something that she has added to her arsenal. But yeah, so far today, a little heavy-handed on these. Maybe that will improve going forward. Either way, she got the point. Still don't see that question, Nurlan. But if you're talking about Iga returning deeper than, like, in terms of the like, if she's returning deeper, then obviously her returns are gonna be less aggressive, but more percentage oriented. I guess that works for everybody if you give yourself more time. I don't really know. I still don't know what the question is, Nurlan. So.
Oh, yeah, that's that looping forehand into the corner. That's something that's working very well for her. And
yeah,
in this
the
tournament,
ball was very low as well when she was hitting it. So to still produce that, definitely tough thing to do. And she's putting on the pressure again.
Forehand winner 6-1.
Ooh. Should have been breakpoint here for sure. I mean, plays everything right in this point. Again, super heavy return, gets to the forehand, places the ball well around the court, goes to the net, and just doesn't get the finish basically into the open court.
Yeah. And we don't often see Sabalenka sort of getting dominated from the back of the court like this, but she was. But then, yeah, again, Zheng couldn't finish at the net. I mean, I don't think Zheng's the best, to be honest, in the forecourt. It's always a bit shaky.
Yeah, but like this is just like a finish that everybody should make.
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, again, there though.
Yeah, speaking of her comfort level in the forecourt, that was also maybe not the best idea there. But for free, still leads up a break. But this feels like a game where she easily could have done more, easily could have gotten another break, or at least gotten to break point. Of course, at least 2 or 3 points that she badly, messed up despite doing everything right up until that point. And Matthew, Daphne Pechi Pericard is not a serve bot, unfortunately. Although, she might still grow. She's like 16, I think. But yeah, she's not a serve
bot. I mean, it would be interesting if you did have like a real, like a John Isner equivalent on the women's tour. Like,
yeah, probably even some of the best serves we've ever seen, like they still had baseline games, like Pliskova, or I don't know. Sabine Nishiki. Yeah, it's tough to find somebody who could only just serve, really.
I don't know, like a 6'8" woman. You maybe just find some really tall athlete and then just train them in tennis and just teach them the serve, see if it would work.
I guess that's what kind of happened to Isner, right? He didn't start playing until he was like 12 or 11.
Right.
Means that I would assume yes, indeed. The last game was a bit of an opportunity missed for Qinwen. Let's see if it backfires.
Oh.
Yeah, this was kind of doomed. A short ball like that of the backhand side is actually pretty difficult, and
yeah, it's hard to read that, but yeah, Zheng's probably wanting to, maybe needs to get this first set if she's going to win the match. And
yeah, the way she's playing right now, I don't know. She's just in charge,
Yeah.
She has been by far the better player on the day so far.
Yeah, but if, tennis, if something happens, she might rue those chances that she's had, and somehow Sabalenka sneaks the first set. Could happen, but our second serve.
Yep.
And she's always been wearing double fault. She's always wearing the compression sleeve. She's been wearing it for a while, over several tournaments. I wonder, because you see a lot of players wearing it now. I feel like they're not necessarily, it's not necessarily anything serious, but
yeah. Yeah, that's back-to-back double faults here to go breakpoint down. Yeah, perhaps with her technique as well, like reliant this much on the arm power and their high ball toss. Perhaps it's also helpful to just have that extra cover for your arm a little bit. But anyway,
right.
2 breakpoints. One breakpoint, of course, after 2 double faults. So, and she also misses the first serve breakpoint down.
This is just what I was saying. Like, it could suddenly switch, and then now under pressure.
And that's the break. Zheng basically just placing a few backhands middle of the court.
Oh dear.
Steps in for
Yeah,
game
too
12.
easy.
Yeah, back-to-back double faults. That's kind of obviously what led to that for the most part. And suddenly from being 4-2 up, not having a break point to go 5-2, but having a few points that previous game where definitely she could have won it. She was in a good position and just kind of messed it up. Suddenly the first set has, leveled so far, but let's see if turned completely.
See a backhand quality there. 8 for Zheng, but then, the other Goff, Świątek, and Sabalenka a little bit above her. You could also say that's where they are in their games in general. Oh yeah, that was a great serve out wide, and let's see if Sabalenka can find her groove now. $192 kilometers.
Well, yeah, Matthew reasonably well, but when he played Marozsan in Geneva, he was eaten alive in 45 minutes. And Nurlan, to you, yeah, I mean, I think so, but she doesn't. I think Iga absolutely could return deeper, rely on her athleticism, physicality a bit more to just start the point in specific matchups, obviously. It does not have to be every single opponent. But she clearly doesn't, as she's said many times. So she believes she just should go full ham at the opponent, really, regardless of who it is, which has its merits but has its downsides too. Well, there's a controversial call here, but the umpire checks the mark and says that Sabalenka basically hit another wicked serve into the corner on the deuce side. So Hawkeye or whatever it is that we have here is also supporting the claim of the chair umpire. Yeah, now it's just pure nerves between the two, really. And for all, from 24 points won each. From here, it's gonna be just a battle of nerves until the end of this opening set.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, it's going to be nerves when you know that Zheng could serve for the set if she gets the break here. Oh, that's a good forehand. Dragging the backhand wide from Zheng, so got to be disappointing from her point of view.
Oh yeah, I mean the return was pretty much spot on, exactly what she wants to do. That super heavy loop. I know that she didn't get like the easiest ball to attack off it, but there was obviously also no pressure to miss it really. So and well, the last three games have really gotten away from Zheng in a manner that she will not be satisfied with, and now she will be under pressure after we wrap up this changeover.
Yeah. Doesn't look happy, and now she's under pressure to bang down a few good serves of hers, and yeah, that was it. I mean, you almost yeah, I mean, she didn't have clear break point opportunities, but maybe there was opportunities to sort of get there and maybe go a double break up at some point for Zheng, but she was in that. I feel like when you're playing a good player like Sabalenka, you want to try and take those opportunities when you can, but yeah. And then she was playing well, but just one bad game, and then it's just Sabalenka's back in it.
Matthew, I'm not the biggest expert on the college system, but basically the schools invite you to play more or less. I mean, finances don't matter because if you're playing for your college team, tennis, for example, you are not paying for the studies. So
yeah, I mean, they can see whether you're good or not, right? I mean, like, oh, if you've won some pro matches already, even.
yeah, I mean, there's like the whole system of drafting and recruiting, basically, and yeah, that's what they do. I mean, if you're a tennis player aged like 17, 18, you're probably gonna get some schools from the US trying to get you on board. If you're very good, it's gonna be Stanford, it's gonna be Georgia and the likes. And if you're not, it's gonna be some random universities we've never heard of. But a lot of players around like 18, 17, even ones you wouldn't expect, they do have some college, proposals, and they're not connected to money now.
Guess Birmingham's about to start at 7. Okay, start of play. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of my time.
Yeah, it's in 7 minutes. Yeah,
7 minutes. Yeah. Of course, the women's downgraded, right? So it was a 250. Now it's just a 125.
Yeah, because it's in the second week of RG, but there was no men's event in Birmingham, so it's like, yeah.
Can they get that?
Okay, this time the drop shot was, well, not perfect, but it didn't need to be. Just the moment of playing it was enough. Qinwen very much on the back foot after the net court. Still 30-15, but obviously the next few points, extremely crucial. Might not be sunny here, but it clearly is in Paris. The roof's open. The weather, well, it's windy, but hot.
Another second serve. 30-15 here. Oh dear. Yeah, another double fault.
Another serve and another double fault, and you can say it's just 4 in 5 games or something like that. Well, just 4 in 5 games. It's maybe like not the worst, but the timing of them has been 30-15 last game. Obviously, she makes 2 to get Sabalenka a breakpoint, and here 30-all, just 2 points away from losing the set now. It's been a real issue for Qinwen here. Luckily for her, she finds the first serve at 30-all and will be desperate for another 3 point.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it wasn't particularly well placed, but sometimes that's enough.
Yeah, with the pace that she's hitting it with, I mean, definitely. Perhaps also could be a bit of a moral for the future for her, that maybe with the way that she's serving, she does not always need to go for the corner. Anyway, second serve here.
Ooh. Just going wide with that backhand up the line. So juice and big pressure for Zheng after being up a break.
Didn't get a clean strike on that one. It's just barely out. And once more, 2 points away from the set for Sabalenka. which would be pretty devastating for Zheng, yeah, considering how she led early, how well she was playing early. Okay, I mean, that was quite a point.
Wow.
She didn't really she's not as in charge as she was in the first few games. Definitely not.
No.
Aryna felt much more comfortable there, just trying to ramp up the pace. Finds a good angle, but finds something even more special.
Yeah, that was a great angle, and almost like, and I've seen it quite a lot with Zheng, but she's quite stretched out in the corners, but she manages to get good balls back, and that was an excellently well placed forehand cross court into the corner.
Millimeters away from a set point for Sabalenka, but it's Zheng who has another game point.
Mm.
Ten backhand unforced errors for Zheng, 3 for Sabalenka. Was that an unforced error? I guess so, but definitely a longer point between them. Qinwen at some point trying to flatten it out cross court, not landing it, so still 2 points away.
Yeah, well, that eases the pressure a bit when you can serve like that.
7 minutes on the clock in this game alone. Well, tough game. Another untimely double fault put her in trouble, more or less. But some much more timely big serves get her out of it. So she survives the pressure moment for now. 47 minutes. 5-all.
And yeah, just the way this has gone, this does feel...
It deserves a breaker. Yeah.
Sure. But feel like Zheng's going to have to win this set to if she wants to win the match. But we'll see. Could be a long 3-setter, and who knows what will happen. Yeah, I still don't think Sabalenka looks quite that comfortable. She's not where she wants to be,
Yeah, this time Zheng hesitates when she has that down the line corridor with the backhand. That does not end up working out for her, as Sabalenka was fully ready to just absorb the pace of that cross-court shot.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah, hasn't been quite as easy for Zheng to establish that authority on the court as earlier. Maybe if she lands that second point in this game, maybe this one looks different. Now Sabalenka looks pretty likely to take it. Should be able to put the volley away. 6-5, and once more, she will kind of put Zheng on the spot.
Yeah, fairly. Yeah, at the start we thought maybe might be difficult, but no. In the end, comfortable hole for Sabalenka, and Zhang's got to take it to a tiebreak. See, the first up, it's Qinwen Wang against Johannes Monday again in Birmingham. Maybe not ideal for Coleman to have to face a Brit in his first round match, but
Nulan, a better question is, how do you know Georgi Kachapuridze from Georgia? As I just checked, and he has 3 ITF qualifying matches in his career, and that's it. Is he a friend of yours or something like that? I mean, I obviously don't know him now. Most recently, he played this year in 11th of May against Edward Winter, and he lost 6-love, 6-love.
Edward Winter, he's is he not? I think he's in college, isn't he? He's Australian.
I think he did go to college. Yeah, had a good junior career. Some wild cards in Australia. Do you usually prefer to play tennis when there is a lot of people watching, or alone, you and the opponent? Do you think that when we play tennis, there is a lot of people watching ever? But yeah, what's your preference, Eddie?
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had a lot of. Well, maybe when I was a kid, like played some tournaments.
Okay.
But like, it's just like I'm not sure if you prefer it, but maybe you play a bit better if there's people watching. But I don't know.
There's definitely a bit of a spike of motivation when somebody comes in, for example, to watch. You're like, oh yeah, for the first 5 minutes, you're gonna be playing at a different intensity. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had many people watching me play tennis, to be honest. Maybe just a few at some events. I don't think it really made my game better or not. I had this one table tennis semifinal, which was like maybe 20, 30 people watching. And it was, well, I think I was pretty locked in, but also I was doing a lot of like gestures. And I feel like I was kind of, because the crowd was there, I was expressing myself in a different manner. But I don't think it actually impacted my play. So my answer is I haven't really played enough in circumstances like they are playing in to really know if I would like that or not. Yeah, going in for the kill there. I mean, this is a bit of a different drop shot, I suppose. Just could have finished it off in many different ways, but Obviously, Aryna knows that right now she can definitely inject some pressure.
Yeah, simple drop shots for her, but they're working well.
Okay. Pretty slow block return from Sabalenka. I guess she was still expecting to be in the point, but Zheng, plays it pretty smart. Probably the slowest forehand winner we've seen this match, aside from for the drop shots, but that's actually perfect. Yeah, another backhand exchange that she is not coming out on the winning end of, Zheng. So 2 points away from the set. Sabalenka again. I mean, the last 15 minutes, the early peaking from Zheng has definitely dialed down.
Also, Nerland saying he beat that guy, Georgie.
Really? 6-6 love? I mean, well, he took some games in an ITF qualifying match a couple of years ago. So I kind of don't believe you, Nurlan, to be honest.
Wow. Whoa. What? Zhang's just stopped here.
Yeah, she seems to think it's out, but actually it's not, according to the umpire. I mean, I haven't seen the Hawkeye yet, I don't think, but just like from watching it in play, I would probably side with this being in the court.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious. I was like, took me a second to work out what she was doing there.
Well,
she's not going to change her mind now. Qinwen.
Yeah, no going back after this decision, so that's going to be set points to Sabalenka. Tension, even in such a way, can definitely be exhibited by the players. And now the first set point for the world number one. Gonna miss the first serve down the tee as well. Well, it would be pretty fitting to end on a double fault, but hopefully that's not the case.
I mean, she's going to be kicking herself if this loses this game right now. That's it, surely.
Jaw is officially on the floor, yeah. She was doing well to extend it. Again, just adding a lot more lube, but Sabalenka comes over that backhand and you just think the set is done. But Zheng, the open stance backhand passing shot.
I was sure Sabalenka's point.
So far. Yeah.
But no. A great sliding backhand up the line, and yeah, she's got that in her locker, I guess, Zheng.
I don't know what to tell you, Nurlan. The guys that he took games off, that Kachapuridze guy, I don't know them. Daniel Spasibo and Roman Nashatyrkin. But yeah, I would be excited, definitely, if someone suddenly showed up on the Challenger Tour by the name Nurlan Ramazanov. Would I think that it's you? I would say, I mean, it's such a unique name that I probably would have some doubts. I wouldn't instantly believe it, but I would at least be like, can there really be two Nurlan Ramazanovs playing? I mean, at least interested in tennis? I don't know. And here's a big serve from Zheng. So, well, she's done a lot of work to like mess this set up, but also she did something amazing on the set point. So, yeah, it's fair for this to end in a tiebreak. It also feels like a tiebreak that will, if not decide the match, then give a major boost to the player winning it. So let's see.
Someone in the chat there on Tennis Asia saying, when are they ever going to ban people from screaming during a game? Absolutely annoying and disrespectful and disgusting. It's just part of the game, isn't it, though? You can't ban it. No one, that's never going to happen.
Well, you could ban excessive grunting, but is there a reason to? I don't know.
I mean, we already have like rules for hindrance.
You could change, the rules in regards to what is hindrance or not. But yeah, finally a bit of a return 1-2 punch of the kind that she was playing at the beginning of the set from Zheng. Heavy return, steps in for the second shot, doesn't give Sabalenka a chance to breathe. Gets the first mini break, although I imagine here it's not really going to be a tie break of just one mini break or something like that. That is reserved to John Isner playing Ivo Karlovic. Oh, there's going to be another ball mark issue here. But that just means first serve Zheng as the chair umpire decides that it was in. And again, the Hawkeye or whatever is backing her up. Nicely done as well. Qinwen running around her backhand, hitting that very heavy upspin shot with the forehand. Sabalenka was a bit in two minds where to try to chase down, where to anticipate it.
Yeah, really nicely executed. And I'm sure it probably feels very heavy when the receiving player, when they get a shot like that. Oh.
Yeah, that's similarly classed though on the Sabalenka return, which basically wins her the point. She still has to play that forehand very precisely into the corner, but
yeah,
that's just that.
Well done.
All about the return there, but yeah, 2-1. Yeah, I noticed that, Terry, as well, that they didn't show the Hawkeye in this case. That set point thing. Tough to say. Indeed, that could be one of the reasons, but just from like watching the point, it seemed like the ball was probably in, but I don't know. But indeed, you're right that on the other potential controversial calls, they are showing Hawkeye, and there they didn't.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I wonder as well, like, are those must be shown in the stadium as well, right?
Not
are they
sure.
shown in?
I don't know. I don't know what the feed is that they get on the the screen high up. No idea.
Yeah.
Probably would be a good idea would be not to show them, probably.
yeah, right. Well, yeah, especially
if it's not, if it's colliding with what the umpire is saying. Yeah. On TV, I don't think it matters that much, but on the screen in the stadium, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Paris, you might cause a riot. Okay, so Oh, that's not a great backhand.
Nulan, I don't think I do. No, I mean, there obviously has to be some sort of evolution regarding rules in any branch of life in any particular field, but I don't think rules are only there to be broken. No. Well, from 2-love up, this has gotten a lot more difficult for Zheng with another stellar return of Sabalenka, granting her the point. Lots of heavy pace on the last two or three rallies. Qinwen late on the ball both times, and now Aryna is the one leading this 4-2 up.
And I remember in Zheng's last match against Samsonova, she was down 2-4 in the first set tiebreak, came through to win it. She'll need to step up and do something special here, probably, but let's see.
Famous opening set tiebreak she won at the French Open as well was against Iga Świątek 3 years ago.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every single point from here might decide the set. It likely won't be the one that we just watched, though, since Zheng ends up taking it. Plenty of stuff happening here. Some shots that Sabalenka was very uncomfortable on, then the slice from Zheng. Finally, it's a powerful backhand down the middle of the court that grants her the win.
Yeah, she had to play that carefully, I think, Zheng, but in the end, working out for her that point.
It's a huge serve at the body of Qinwen Zheng. Not much time to react. And she is a bit late with that back motion. 5-3 Sabalenka. Again, 2 points away from the set, but arguably this time a little closer than in the previous instances. Of course, barring the set point, which was an insane moment. And unless we have another ball mark controversy, and I don't think we do, she's going to be even closer to winning the opening set now after an ace down the tee. So 6-3, 3 set points Sabalenka. And, well, she's already had one. Zheng pulled up some absolute magic. We'll need even more of that now.
Yeah, it's Zheng could really do with some big first serves here. She does get a big first serving, but it's returned. Oh, the drop shot working out for Sabalenka.
But again, it was horrible. Again, it was not good at all. He basically just gave Zheng the ball, and once again, Qinwen missed it. A few of these this match, obviously, already. I think like 3 or 4 at least, where after a drop shot, Sabalenka is not in charge of the point at all, but Qinwen just misses the final shot.
Yeah, that was
still, yeah,
7-6 there. They were showing it still as 6-6 on the scoreboard there, but yes, Sabalenka does lead 7-6, and Zheng's got to be kicking herself given the chance she had.
Yeah, 4-2, there were some opportunities to go up 5-2 for sure. Then the two double faults kind of put her back, just let Sabalenka back into the set at 4-3. From there, I guess Aryna was the one pressuring, and she gets the set. Is it an equivalent of almost getting the match? I guess we'll see whether Qinwen will still have a lot of belief early on in the second.
Yeah, play underway in Birmingham Challenger. The grass season's started, although the biggest clay court tournament is on now. It's been a pretty good match overall between Sabalenka and Zheng. I think there's more to come.
Just a question now if the intensity will stay as high as it's been, or there will be some sort of a disappointment, effect on Zheng. The two serves from Aryna as well, 4-3. I mean, that was just pretty tough to overcome.
Yeah, we see Zheng going for more winners there, but the unforced error count also higher, and first serve percentage 52%. Yeah, probably she wants it a bit higher. It's Qinwen Wong is up break early, as is Yusuke Watanuki. You think Watanuki can do well on grass?
Oh yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
He plays the net. He has a massive serve. Almost beat Hurkacz in Stuttgart a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's just, I guess, obviously he's been unlucky with injuries, right? So maybe this is a chance for him to make his mark.
Jane, there is a chance. Tomorrow I might do a men's match. I don't know yet though which one. It will also depend on the scheduling, so I can't really know yet. But there is a chance that you might hear me on the Djokovic-Zverev match. I don't know why everybody is asking me about that one. I really don't hate the matchup. It's not Zverev Medvedev. So yeah, I'm not gonna be crying during it. I don't think, at least.
Who do you think wins that, Zverev and Djokovic?
I'm giving a slight nod to Zverev, but I think it's close enough that there's no factually right or factually wrong answer.
Yeah, right. I agree, but I think tennis-wise, I think if Zverev plays his best, like he maybe has the edge, but sometimes I wonder maybe mentally, maybe Djokovic outperforms him. It's an interesting match. Yeah, so I mean, I think this could be another interesting to see. Now Zheng will be coming out serving, but feels like it could be a close one again. But I felt like maybe Zheng really had to win that first set to come and win the match. So she's gone off the court, right? So
to be honest with you, I'm watching Tabilo Barton, but yeah, I will be back on the stream in a moment.
yeah, so she's just back on the court now, Zheng.
Okay.
No. Yeah, 74 minutes. That was a long first set. Oh, that's just match 10 now.
Yeah, it was like almost an hour, I think, when they started the tiebreak. Oh, so Watanuki is playing blocks. I wonder how that guy is gonna be on grass. He's barely played it. Yeah, Tabilo has another match point. I'm just gonna watch that and then return to Sabalenka Zheng. I've been following this match pretty so simultaneously pretty much, but switched when the set was over.
Prost job.
Yeah. The other high-profile wildcard after Menchik lost yesterday.
I wonder why. I mean, I guess it's his home time. Maybe he was just going to go there anyway. So he's like, I might as well just play the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pointless decision. I definitely think so. But also there was somebody telling me that Jakub has like a brother who cannot travel and basically just wanted to see him play. But yeah, in general, I just don't think he benefited from that at all. Given that he lost in the first round, though, he can just like go enjoy the grass preparation now, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was clear that he hadn't dealt with the Rocha loss and probably also had this feeling of like, why am I even there, right? I'm not saying this is something wrong, but a lot of top quality players, and they sign up for a lower tier event, they're just like, at some point, even subconsciously, they're just thinking, what am I doing here? Why am I ranked number 19 and playing a 100 pointer? Like, what's there for me to gain? And if that was a thought in his mind, I also can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done with that one. I see that Zheng has held in the opening game. I'm saying that as if it was some sort of a surprise, but one of the scenarios for this second set was obviously her, I don't know, just coming out a little bit, just still thinking about the options she had to win the opener and stuff. But good that it's not the case. Let's see how Aryna responds.
Wow, that was a great forehand cross court there from Zheng. Injection of pace. I mean, I think she's gonna have to step up and do a lot more there, because I think Sabalenka now is, you're not going to get too many dips from her, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, given this start, it seems like that's what she intends to do. In the meantime, we also had a pretty wild doubles result in the first quarterfinal. Christian Harrison and Ivan King, they defeated Heliovara Patton. What a season for the Americans, who weren't even part of a potential, I don't know, like ATP Tour any lineup at the start of the season, and then suddenly. Anyway, Aryna has to duck from Qinwen return.
Zabayas and Granollers in the quarterfinal as well.
Yeah, anytime they are, right? It's always that one story of can they finally get that slam? Maybe they can.
Yeah, Granic. Both fairly
3
old
finals
now.
for the Argentinian and 5 for the Spaniard.
Although is 40 considered old in doubles these days?
Probably not. But like 41, 42 is when most people check out, right? I mean, Bopana is, of course, an example of somebody who didn't. But like, I don't know, right now you have Rajiv Ram around that age, and he's clearly not as good anymore. Nicolas Mahou just came back. He's like 42 or something like that. But yeah, I guess 40-ish is when most give up. So I think it's probably one of the last seasons when they can do it, yeah.
30 all here. Still look quite windy there. You see the dust or the clay blowing up. Yeah, that was a fairly wide serve, trying to go down the tee. The second serve now for Sabalenka. Oh, and that's that backhand down the line. It was pretty good, but the point continues.
Yeah, some excellent defending there from Sabalenka. Obviously, barely makes that one backhand, but the squash shots earlier does so well to keep herself in the point and avoid going down the break point.
Yeah. Yeah, Sabalenka just very tough there and defending very well. So she has a game point. She seems a bit annoyed with the wind, but
yeah, she's definitely the one who's like expressing it a lot more. I don't know if it's
I mean, it's quite high ball toss as well she's got, so
well, she is playing the queen of high ball tosses. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was Zheng's ball toss is an interesting one.
High ball toss or not, she gets the game, despite looking indeed a bit uncomfortable with the wind. And gives the ball back to Zheng. So that was your feeling, Jane, regarding the Djokovic-Zverev one? Sure. I guess I just don't really care for outside of play. And I think on the court, Djokovic-Zverev is a bit more interesting to me. If we have to go for a walk in nice weather for an hour, would we rather do it in the morning or in the evening? Me, when I go for a walk, it's typically in the evening, but that's mostly because I do some other activity in the morning. So I think it's more dedicated by my overall schedule for the day. But for example, today I went for a walk in the morning because I have table tennis in the evening. So I don't know. I guess I'd rather do it in the evening. Evening is just, I don't know, more suitable for me, but that's also because of my general schedule of the day, Nurlan.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do it in the morning. Nurlan. Just prefer daytime. But sunlight. Not that I'm against walking in the evening.
I'm also not against walking at dinner time. Generally, walking is pretty good, you know. I've actually recently started enjoying walking a bit more than I used to. So it's a fitting question for me right now, Nurlan, since typically my walks, I mean, in the past, they used to be like point A to point B, and I still kind of have to work my way around that. Like, I just have to set myself a goal of getting somewhere. But I did actually start to enjoy walking a little bit more. I mean, I just figure, you know, if I'm sitting at home and I don't know, watching YouTube or something, I might as well do it outside. You know, there's no real reason not to. With tennis, it's a bit more tricky, but some knifing slices from the two players there. What a touch rally. And I don't know if this is, yeah, I guess it is expected, but in that sort of play, Sabalenka does end up coming out on top with a really good redrop.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that last slice though from Zheng. I don't know if she really, because it wasn't really a proper drop shot. It was just a sort of.
I think it was supposed to be a drop shot, yeah.
Yeah, but it was too deep in the court. Yeah, but
yeah, something Sabalenka was like kind of taken aback by. I don't know what.
Wow, Coleman Wong up 5-1 against Monday. His grass court season starting well.
Monday not at full power anymore now that it's Tuesday.
Oh dear. Oh, well, yeah, not a bad hold from Zheng in the end.
We're obviously going to be hearing that a lot. Do table tennis players do a lot of table training? I mean, professional table tennis players, yes. Myself, yes, but only from recently. But, you know, at like my level, I think most players don't. But professionals, obviously, I mean, it's just like any other sport.
Yeah, it probably is some benefit, right, to a table tennis player to stay lean
100%.
and all that.
I mean, it's how you get advantage over your opponents, really. I mean, just like in tennis, you basically have to be you know, as quick, as fast as, and you know, properly conditioned as possible, and that's how you like get the extra 5% that your opponent might not. I mean, at like the professional level, most players will have the same, you know, 20 years of training, only like small differences in terms of technique and stuff. So that's also one of the ways to find that extra bit. Obviously, for me, I mean, I do it for my own benefits. It's not that important for my career, but I think obviously at the professional level, 100%.
You play often?
Mostly twice a week, 1.5 hours right now.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a blue moon for me. I'm not very good, but it just makes me angry when I play something.
Oh, it makes me really angry when I play. And the better you get, the more angry you get as well. But well, that's also another side of sports. And we obviously see it a lot here when watching tennis as well. How frustrating it gets. Luckily, I'm too broke to smash my racket. Anyway,
yeah.
Sabalenka serving it 1-2. I guess this is this. No, actually, on the other side of the court, she was struggling with the wind, and now she's also like very much showing that she's not comfortable. But
I guess that maybe the wind has picked up a bit, right, from earlier on, which is
probably from like the latter parts of set one, I think so.
Yeah, and that was that forehand.
Yeah, that seems like a lack of readjustment with the wind after she switched sides, right? That seems like mostly that. But it's part of the sport as well, of course.
Well, perhaps a little chance here now for Zheng at love 30 on the Sabalenka serve. So, yeah, decent forehand there.
Well, way to close out the first point. That serve out wide on the deuce side today has been pretty spotless, and most of the time she didn't even need to put it away after that. But now, obviously, she just does that 100% correct as well. Zheng, pretty nice, sort of like reaction to it, appreciation you can see there.
Another one out wide, but that was returned, but that was still well put away from Sabalenka, the forehand. Yeah, and just like that, maybe a little pressure, and we're back to 30 all. Another great serve. Must be annoying for Zheng. She's like, I know it's coming. But she just can't get there. Maybe she's not going to go out wide this time. No, I knew she was going to go down the tee, and it was perfectly executed. Fortunately for Zheng, she didn't read it. Or just couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's some very timely big serving, just like in the first set tiebreak when she was 4-3 up and then gets a couple of ones that Qinwen had nothing to say on. Could have been a really important game, but for now we remain with the status quo. Some women's doubles action today as well. Aryna Paolini already pulling through, and Andreeva Schneider are trying to do the same right now. Paolini, I guess, can now focus solely on the doubles. Maybe that helps her out in the rest of the week. I don't know. But I guess that means that there might be another one. Yeah, another semi-final meeting between Aryna Paolini and Andreeva Schneider, who I feel like since the Olympic final have been playing against each other all the time.
Yeah, Sabalenka. Feels like she's revving up now.
Because that's how the entire match has kind of looked like. The moment she survives a difficult situation, that's when she just steps up in right away after that. And indeed, she gets the first 2 points here. Again, some very good scrambling. And yeah, love 30. She just got out of that. Now she's putting Qinwen in the same spot.
Wow.
But she will also have to accept some big serving from her opponent. Will it be just a mimic of the previous game? We'll see. I laughed hard at this clip that they recorded at Roland Garros, where basically either Tennis Channel, TNT, or whatever, they were asking like male players who is going to win women's Roland Garros, and Alcaraz just said Sabalenka because she's the tiger. That was pretty funny. Most of them just like, were kind of giving some arguments or maybe saying that I have to support this player because this and that. Like, I don't know, Fonseca saying Haddad Maya, or the Americans mostly saying Goff. But yeah, Carlos was like, she's the tiger. That's it. Well, the tiger is kind of roaring in this game, and she will have a break point that would put her in nice position to potentially lock up this semifinal. How many semifinals has Sabalenka had at the French? I mean, she definitely had that one against Muchova where she had a match point. Am I missing one? I'm not sure. Probably not.
Yeah, so break point here for Sabalenka. Can she take it? She's going to get a look at a second serve from Zheng. Yeah, that was actually well done from Zheng. And maybe put off with how well Sabalenka was getting the balls back there, but finishes it off well with the overhead. Not easy as well, coming back a bit.
Gonna have one more opportunity. The court was open, but Qinwen not quite dealing with the bounce there. We've seen a couple of errors like that earlier too.
Is that some thunder again there?
Here? No.
Oh, I thought I heard thunder. It was something else.
I didn't hear anything, so I don't know what that was actually. But no, it's clear now. It was a short burst of lightning, thunderstorm, whatever.
Yeah. So break point Sabalenka. Zheng second serve again. That's a good return, and that's a winner from Sabalenka. So she gets the break, and
this time the tiger uses the fact that the second serve from Zheng, I mean, had to be pretty safe. Steps in, swats it away. She's in great position to make that semifinal. Indeed, the second that she ever has had at the French. Of course, still hasn't won a natural surfaces slam. Hasn't even made the final of one of them. But it's pretty funny to think about it. I'm just looking at it now. In the last 5 years, she's only played Wimbledon twice. Obviously, once injured last year, and in 22 she wasn't allowed to because of her nationality. And in 2020 there was no Wimbledon. So, well, the French, she's played it consistently since 2018. But only the last 2 years, really, she started getting some results. 2023, she had that match point against Muchova to get to the final. Last year, of course, had a stomach bug against Andreeva in the quarters. So, well, she is aiming to reach that second semifinal at RG, and she's very close.
Yeah, potentially a match against Iga as well in the semi. So it's going to be very interesting.
I would assume this time Iga wouldn't be that nervous as she was in Paris last summer. But, she's been struggling with that all season, so who knows?
Yeah, I've got a feeling if they do play, I think Iga's going to win, but we'll see. Oh, the double fault there starting off. this game from Sabalenka. So still looking up. I don't know if she's annoyed at something again with the wind, but.
Because tomorrow it's Zverev Djokovic in the night session. So to your question earlier, Jane, probably that would be what I'm looking at more so than Sinner Bublik in terms of the watch along. Yeah.
Oh, the passing shot with the forehand cross court from Zheng. Sabalenka coming forward, and shot wasn't quite good enough, but. So she doesn't want to just give the momentum back, or, she's got that momentum. Oh, dear. Yeah, Zheng trying to go for the slicer, but yeah, doesn't connect with it. Wow, that is an unbelievable backhand return from Zheng. She I think she was like, well, it's going to go this way. I'm just going to go smack it. And that was ridiculous, just landing in the corner over the high part of the net. Even Sabalenka smiles and gives her a little clap. 2 break points. Oh! Well, somehow Sabalenka wins that point, and
Actually.
Oh, it's out.
Yeah, we'll have a ball.
Oh, Sabalenka's saying here. No. She's saying no way. Let's see if they show the Hawkeye. No Hawkeye. Oh, there is a Hawkeye. And it is just a, okay, well, fair enough. I mean, well, I mean, Zhang stays in it. I mean, she had to come up with some top tennis there to get it back, and she has done. So I was just laughing because the commentator said there's a very annoying pigeon.
Is that what Sabalenka is annoyed by? I thought it was the wind.
Maybe. Oh, another great backhand drop shot from Sabalenka. Yeah, so you're saying there was a pigeon flying above the umpire's chair somewhere, but I haven't seen that. But first serve going way out from Zheng. And again, we've got a love 30 on this server for the last 3 games, right? So it could be 3 breaks in a row. Yeah,
Once again, I'm getting involved in conversations I shouldn't be getting involved in. Anyway, sorry, I'm back now. I've kind of not paid attention the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, love 40 now on the Zheng serve. They just exchanged breaks, so
yeah, I want to see that point that Sabalenka was so. I'm gonna rewind to it. That Sabalenka was not happy with.
Oh dear, and then obviously completely misjudging it. That was the Zheng sending that backhand out, and I don't know if that was the wind again, perhaps playing a part, but 4-3.
I don't know. I mean, it could be out from watching it. That previous when Zheng got the break, but then again, Sabalenka was so close to the net, and the ball was so slow that I kind of failed to imagine how she would actually not be able to see it. I don't know. It's controversial for sure. And here I see a beautiful drop shot on the first point from Aryna in this game that just ended.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's been a pretty effective play for her. And yeah, I mean, how many more chances is Zheng going to let slip? I mean, it does feel like Sabalenka surely should get this done now. Well, Zheng this time finally finishing off one of Sabalenka's drop shots. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, big serve just right on the line, and Zheng cannot return it. Oh, this time's Zhang with the nice drop shot on her forehand side.
Yeah, the forehand slice as well here, providing a very nice mix-up from Sabalenka. Uses that instantly to get an even more powerful backhand cross-court, and she's going to have a chance to go 5-3 up. Yeah, that was quite interesting. Sabalenka misjudging that high ball from Qinwen. At some point, I thought she might, like, the ball might even hit her. She kind of like barely made her way around it, but netted the forehand.
Yeah, you can have one, silly mistake like that or strange mistake, but then follows it up with an amazing serve. It's nice to be able to do that. Another big serve, but that goes long, so yeah. No nonsense there from Sabalenka. That was a great forehand. Yeah, and just one game away now for her from the match.
Just watched a clip of Polish commentary from this match, and yeah, one of the guys there made some very unpleasant remarks about Sabalenka. It's pretty disgusting, to be honest. And they were also referencing her former partner who committed suicide. It's unfortunately in Poland there's a bit of a Sabalenka hate among some people, which is really not too understandable to me. But okay,
that was in Polish media, you said?
Yeah, commentator for this match on Eurosport.
Oh,
it's gonna be tough to kick him out though, because I think he's like the well, not the CEO of the whole station, but of the tennis part of it. But hopefully it does the rounds on social media, and yeah. Well, it doesn't really relate to the stream in any way, but well, that was kind of anyway.
Inappropriate comments. Okay, fair enough.
Definitely, 100%. Anyway, 7-6, 5-3. Beautiful bucket return from Sabalenka. Likely not important in this game, but we'll see.
She was saying like,
well, actually, another.
Zheng did that earlier. She was like, I can do that too.
That's actually another sensational return from Sabalenka, so maybe it won't be as inconsequential as you think.
Oh yeah.
Loosened up from for the love up for Zheng. At this point, why not go for it? And everything is played phenomenally right now.
Yeah, it's just the thing with Sabalenka is when she gets on top and she doesn't like going. She seems to relish it, enjoying herself out there. And still a game point though for Zheng. Can she take it? Ish. Oh. Well, she can't take it, and it goes to deuce. And Sabalenka doing extremely well to stay in that point and come out on top.
Yeah, Sabalenka absolutely goating the last 2 or 3 minutes. So, the last 3 points really is what I was trying to go for. And now she's just 2 points away from the match. Gonna be another ball mark argument. I think just from the view of the... I think Sabalenka is right.
Surely
it's
that's
gonna be a
wide.
second serve for Zheng. Yeah,
it's
it looked
clearly wide.
wide on this. It looked wide on the stream, that's for sure. Hawkeye is also going to be shown, and it's not even close according to Hawkeye.
I mean, I think it's just Zhang's nerves or something. I mean, obviously that point earlier where she just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a bigger conversation if she didn't save that incredible set point and get to the tiebreak. But yeah, for sure, there was also a moment where she showed that the situation is getting to her.
Yeah, and match point Sabalenka. It goes wide, so that was Zheng's drop shot wide, and that means Sabalenka wins the match. 7-6, 6-3.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, it could have lasted one more game, considering that Zheng was 40 love up. But I guess in the long run, the winner is the player who was just a bit more clinical over the course of the match. I mean, it was quite close.
Yeah, it was quite close for most of the match, although it did feel like in that second set that Sabalenka leveled up, and I feel like, as the match progressed, Sabalenka did get better, and I felt like obviously with that first set, Zheng probably had to not concede that break so easily, and then obviously didn't tiebreak didn't go well for her, and then I mean in the end, the key moments, Sabalenka played much better, didn't she?
Yeah, I think 4-2 up in the opening sets. That was kind of Zheng's chance. There was that game where she didn't get to break point, but there were at least 2, maybe even 3 points where she's ahead and she kind of just messes up the situation, isn't too clinical, like either at the net or just like finishing it off a little. And after that, Aryna definitely gets a lot more like confident and starts outplaying her in clutch situations. The serving was super timely in that like 1-2 game from love 30 down in the second set, or 4-3 in the breaker. She fires 2 amazing serves as well. But yeah, it kind of started with these back-to-back double faults for Qinwen at 4-3, 15, well, 30-15, I guess it was from before the double faults. And that really allows Aryna, back in. She takes it, of course, after a couple of middle of the court backhands from Qinwen. She steps it up in that next point. And from there, I guess she was always the one putting the pressure on Zheng. Barely any moments after that when Qinwen is playing again with that sort of authority and confidence that she came up with early on. So a tough match for sure for Aryna. I mean, she makes the semis at Roland Garros for the second time in her career.
Yeah, and that's obviously a great achievement. Yeah, for Zheng, I think, yeah, I mean, she was in that the first half of that first set, she was on top and playing really well. But yeah, and I think that's the difference between the players. If I feel like if Sabalenka was in that situation, she would have held on to it a bit longer. And once Sabalenka got in the groove, she really was just, eventually able to sort of suffocate Zheng, really. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, Zheng I guess it's first quarterfinal for her at Roland Garros, so not a bad tournament for her. But yeah, she's still got work to do if she's going to be able to, think about winning these tournaments.
Yeah, 7-1 now in the head-to-head as well, which obviously after Rome, we were thinking that this might be tighter, and it was. Seems like whenever they will be playing on clay courts, we will be entering the matchup with a bit more confidence that Qinwen can keep it close and can do enough to make Aryna a bit uncomfortable. But I guess indeed we didn't really see that frustration that Aryna had in Rome. We didn't really see the same kind of lack of ideas against the heavy spin of Zheng. She was definitely, at least in parts of the match, back to just dominating her off the ground. And yeah, now she's going to play Svitolina or Świątek. So as we said, I mean, any match from here on out in the women's event is just very difficult.
And if she was to win the title, I mean, it potentially her coming through, I mean, obviously it's just come through Zhang, but then potentially Iga, and then maybe Goff. I mean, that would be quite a title if she wants to win it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you could say the same for Iga as well. But yeah, very tough from here on in.
Yeah, assuming Boison doesn't beat Andreeva, then basically everybody from here will have 3 very tough matches, bearing Mira.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, whether it's Svitolina or Świątek, I guess probably you would think that Svitolina is an easier opponent, but it's not that big a difference. And then, yeah, either go for Andreeva in the final. It would be a very impressive title, obviously something she hasn't done before, winning a slam outside of hard courts where she has dominated over the last couple of years. So chances there, but yeah, everybody can win against, anybody can win against anybody from here, I think. So obviously soon we're going to have that second quarterfinal. I'm actually not sure if we have a stream for that, to be honest.
Which one? The Andreeva?
No, Sabalenka, Svitolina, Świątek, just
oh,
now.
Right, yeah.
But either way, we will have more content. So just guys, check out the channel today. Definitely there's more watch along stuff coming. And from us, I guess that's pretty much it. Any final thoughts on Sabalenka and Zheng?
I just think, yeah, I mean, it's a great match really from Sabalenka, and it's up nicely for the next one for sure. And probably she still maintains maybe her, maybe before the tournament people thought she was a favorite. I don't think this match is going to change anyone's, change those people's minds. So yeah, looking good.
All right. So thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you, Eddie, for watching this one with me. And yeah, keep tuning in to Talking Tennis content. We'll have a lot more coming over the second week of Roland Garros, of course. Time to watch challengers. See you guys.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.